This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, good morning. Anyone has any questions, please let me know. First of all, a very great year. Okay, so happy new year. I have some bad thought, less sleep, but that's fine. So anyone has any questions, please let me know. So we are at load balancer. So we completed what is meant by a load balancer, what is meant by a classic load balancer, what is meant by application load balancer, and the third one which I would give you homework, because the application load balancer, how did you create it? Same thing you can create in network load balancer, but the only thing is network load balancer is load number, okay, layer number 3, OSI model layer number 3. Application layer will come under layer number 7. Application level, last level. So network load balancer is very similar, same target group, same thing, everything is different. So anyone has any questions? So please let me know. So I created classic. So today what I will do, I will explain you what is auto scaling. I'll just explain you what is scaling, but I'm still pending with to explain you what is meant by stickiness. So to understand what is stickiness, first let's understand what is auto scaling, and then we will go for stickiness. Online people, anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions, please let me know. Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Kumar.
Kumar, we are
Very
able
good
to.
morning. Yeah, you can hear you.
Good morning.
Anyone has any questions on application load balancer? I created an application load balancer. What are the features of an application load balancer? Application load balancer features are advanced routing. You can now specify, if any request is coming for sales, please send it to sales pages, which is present in target group sales. Marketing, like you can divide it. Now the routing will not go use round robin. If exactly wherever the target is there, it will go into that place. So that is called as a target group, and that feature is enabled in application load balancer. And application load balancer also supports not only UEC2 instance, but you can assign IP address and all those things directly, which will work for it, which we will know when we know. So when we learn something about containers. Clear, right? Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions? So I would like to go to the next topic. So please take network load balancer. Network load balancer is your homework, please. It is straightforward copy and paste of application load balancer. But network load balancer is very fast, because that data transfer load is balanced on layer number 3 itself only. It's not going to layer number 4, 5, 6, and then it will go to 7 like application load balancer. Layer number 3 itself only. Please take it seriously and do it. It's a very, very, very good one. So what is the feature which is missing in an auto scaling? Sir, what is the feature which is missing in load balancer? So I will go and create a load balancer. Yes or no? We created a load balancer. Then we added a server number 1. We added server number 2. Right? Yes or no? So any end user is able to hit this load balancer. The data will be transferred basically to the multiple systems. Yes or no? Yes. Now the question comes into picture is, this server, like let's take an example, 10,000 people log into this website. This particular server number 1, CPU percentage of this system currently is, what is the percentage right now? 99%. Now more 1,000 people logged in. So the total number of people logging to this system is how much? 2,000. This server CPU percentage has become 98%. So what should I do now? Tell me. What should I do? What is load balancer will do? What is the primary agenda of a load balancer? Load balancer, you register 2 systems. So it will forward only to 2 systems. What happened to server number 1 and what happened to server number 2? What happened here? Server number 1 CPU percentage is 99%. That means this system is completely loaded, completely loaded. Server number 2 is 98% completely loaded. Now what will load balancer will do? Online people, can anyone answer it? What is load balancer will do? What is the role of a load balancer? Anyone?
It will trigger alerts.
Yes, definitely. Very good. It will create an alert. Okay. Is that sufficient? Is that sufficient? Okay.
You should
What would
also
happen?
direct to the second CPU
What would
based on the
happen
role.
if more 1,000 people log in? What will happen right now? This server will get crashes. This server gets crashes. So you hit a load balancer. Load balancer has two servers. What should I do? It doesn't know. So totally your application goes for a toss. What is the feature missing? So what is the meaning of a load balancer? If anyone asks you, what are the small limitation of a load balancer? Keep it in your mind. Load balancer is just a traffic havaldar. You have a traffic person, right? Traffic police station, police boy. That's it. He will go and specify if this load, too much people are there, hey, you wait, you please go. Hey, then there is a completely something is there, you go. He cannot create a new road. Can he create a new road? If two roads are blocked, can traffic person can do anything? He can't do anything. Same thing
No.
with the load balancer. So two servers are in danger. What is load balancer will do? Nothing. Array, two servers, I need to forward to two systems. Two systems are in danger. What should I do? Nothing, I'll do it. So load balancer is not a decision maker to create a third server. If two servers are not working, someone should go and create third system. Someone should go and create, what is that? It load balancer is not having that capability. It's just you hit me, I'll forward to this guy and you. That's it. Both the servers are absent. What should I do? I don't know. Is it clear, right? It cannot have that mindset or the feature where, array, this server is not working. I'll forward to that guy or that guy, or I'll create a new server. That feature will be coming when you go for another topic. What is that? Auto scaling. Is it clear? Auto scaling. What is meant by auto scaling? Automatically scaling up. Write it down. What is auto scaling? Automatically scaling up and automatically scaling down. Automatically scaling up, automatically scaling down. What is the meaning of automatically scaling up? Two servers are there. No load is completely full. What should happen? It will go and create third server and fourth server. So scaling up. Okay, so let's take an example. Now, how many servers we have? 4 servers you have. Saturday, Sunday comes into picture. Lot of people are clicking the website. 4 servers are there. Monday key comes into picture. More people will log in or less people log in. So I don't require third and fourth. Let us delete those things. Scale down. It will automatically scale down and you have 4 servers. So what is the benefit of auto scaling? Your cost will also reduce. Okay, based on the demand, number of servers will increase. Based on the demand, number of servers will decrease automatically. That is called as auto scaling. Very, 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 very important. Okay. Okay. So please write it down. What are the types of scaling you have? There are 2 types of scalings you have. When you talk about very, very important, sir, if anyone, and these are universal topics in the world. If you go for Azure, AWS, Google, all the concept is same. Sir, what are the types of scaling? You write it down. There is vertical scaling. And the second one is horizontal scaling. Did I explain you this one? Right? Horizontal scaling and vertical scaling. When you are trying to increase the server, people will ask you, are you doing horizontal scaling or vertical scaling? Okay. Sir, what is the meaning of a vertical scaling and an horizontal scaling? Very, 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 very simple. What is an English word called as vertical? I don't know what is vertical. What is vertical?
Right.
Vertical means this is vertical. Yes or no? What is meant by horizontal? Okay, my son is
Parallel.
studying this one, sleeping lines and standing lines basically in LKG is reading. So if you go vertical means straight up. Okay, horizontal means like this one, right? That is what you're scaling. So let's understand, sir. Let's understand. Sir, I have one server here. Server number one. This server number one is having how many CPU cores? And what is the RAM? Okay, very good. So, how, sir, directly customers are there. You have only one server directly hitting. So it can support how many users? 1000 users it can support. Slowly what is happening? 1050 users logged in. What will happen to the system? Crashes or system will go into 100%. So what should I do right now? I have to scale up. That is what I'm saying. Not add. I have to do scale up. Sir, what is the meaning of a scale up? Scale up means like, what is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of this one? What is the
But
meaning of vertical? Vertical scaling up. Vertical scaling up. Are you, sir, if someone will come up and say that server is in danger, are you scaling up? Yes. Vertical or horizontal? So if it is vertical, vertical means what is this one? Server number one. I am going to scale up vertical like this one. Means I am going to go and add one more CPU core and 4 more GB of RAM. Now total this server, what is the RAM size? 8 GB. How many CPU cores? 2 CPU core. Is the hardware capability increased? Yes. Did I added the server or the same server the hardware is increased? That is
hardware
called
is
as
increased.
vertical scaling. That is called as vertical scaling. What is meant by vertical scaling? I have server number one, that is 4 GB RAM. Only 1000 people can support. Array, in next week it will go to 1500. 1500 means this server will not support because it is only, what is that? 4 GB. What should I do? I will not go and create any server. The same server I will scale up like this one by increasing its hardware capabilities. Now it is 8 GB with 2 core CPU. Now 1500 people it can accept. Sir, next month 3000 people will add it. Add more 8 GB RAM. Are you able to understand? I am scaling in this direction. So this is called as vertical direction. Is it clear? Vertical scaling. Can you tell me what are the advantage of vertical scaling and what are the disadvantage of vertical scaling? Sorry guys, my voice is little bit low. Sorry for that, but that's fine. I'll try my best. And I'm canceling 8 to 9 batch also. Okay, so can you tell me what is an advantage and disadvantage of vertical scaling? Think and tell me. So, okay, so that's advantage. What's the advantage and disadvantage, sir? Anyone?
Just we need to replicate. No need to put extra effort to create that another vertical scaling. Just we will say that replicate. So it will copy the properties of server one, and it will
Huh?
be
Nah, sir, where is the replication is coming into picture? No, I'm not
no,
replicating. What is meant by vertical scaling is very simple, sir. You have a 4 GB RAM with 1 core CPU core your laptop. Now you come up and say, I want to play a game. 4 GB is not sufficient. What do? You go and make it 8 GB. That is called as vertical scaling. Where is clustering replication is coming? Nothing is coming. Same server,
In
just you are
vertical
increasing the hardware capabilities, sir.
in vertical scaling, the fastness will increase, response will increase because of
What
the
is that? What is
hardware.
that, sir? In vertical scaling?
The response is increased. Like when a RAM and capacity is increased, the fastness will
Yeah,
increase.
definitely, sir. That's not a disadvantage or not, it's not an advantage. So very
And in
simple. I would like.
horizontal, availability will increase
No, no,
because of
very
number of
simple.
servers.
What is an advantage of vertical scaling and what is a disadvantage of vertical scaling? Here you're running, what is this one? SAP you're running? Yes or no? I'll talk about the advantage after some time, maybe after 2 minutes. Let's talk about the disadvantage. What is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is pretty simple. Single server, single point of failure. Motherboard is having a problem. Will it work? RAM is having a problem. Will it work? Disk is having a problem. Will it work? So too many single point of failure. It's a single server. Today I bought this laptop 4 GB. Array, I want to play Project IJ game. Go and make it 16 GB. Array, no. I want to play FIFA football. Go and make it 240 GB of. But it is a single server. Motherboard gone, system is gone. So that is the biggest disadvantage. When you go for vertical scaling, high availability is very, very, very risky. Is it clear? Yes or no? That is the reason almost 90% of the world, entire world, will prefer what is that? Horizontal. What is the meaning of horizontal? Okay, I have a server number 1. Yes or no? Server number 1 application, how many people can log in? Suddenly 1500 people can log in. What I will do? I will increase like this. Means what? I'll go for server number 2. Sir, server number 2 is not sufficient. Then I'll go for what is that? Is it clear? I'll go for like this one. Is it clear? What is the advantage and disadvantage? Now I'll tell you the advantage of vertical scaling. The advantage of vertical scaling is very simple. I install SAP application only once, done. But in horizontal scaling, what should I do? Each and every server I have to do what is that? Install SAP application, yes or no? So more maintenance, more cost. Horizontal scaling, what is that you're getting? Each and every server, sir, you have to buy the server, sir. Buy the server means money. You have to install, configure, you need to take care. One server, what is that one? Maintenance is high. But what is the biggest advantage of horizontal scaling? High availability. One server is not working, with the help of load balancer, you can transfer to another system as an example. So you get high availability. That is the reason why 95% of the world, and anyone wants, let's take an example, sir, I want to deploy an application called as google.com. You will not go for horizontal, vertical scaling. You will never go for it. The reason is, see, let's take an example. So you will come up and say, sir, no, sir, I don't believe you. I'll go for vertical scaling. Okay, today is 8 GB. More people are logging. You will convert into 16, 24, 500, 1 terabyte. You will not go, cannot go and make it 10 terabyte, 100 terabytes of RAM for one system. Your number of cores versus server, that configuration will completely at one period of time will make you chaos. You cannot go for it. That is the reason you will go for what is that? Horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling, what is the biggest advantage of horizontal scaling? The biggest advantage of horizontal scaling is you horizontal scale. Tomorrow you will come up and say, sir, my load is so high, I need 10,000 servers. Create 10,000 servers. Who is stopping you? In Microsoft, okay, I'm very proud to say in Microsoft, one region, North Virginia, we don't call it as North Virginia in Microsoft, US East 1, US East, once basically, one region has 4.74 million servers. Are you able to understand? 4.74 million servers in one region, and one server is like you have 4.74 servers. One server is, I think, 274 or 276 GB of RAM. One server like that, we have 4.74 million servers. Is it clear, right? We can scale onto our application, Azure application, like that. Hope you understood vertical and horizontal scaling. Anyone has any questions before I explain you what is meant by, okay, auto scaling?
Kumar, just general question for me. See, always we discuss about the 4 GB and 1 CPU core, right? Is there any relation between these two for any
Yes, sir.
like? So
Yes, sir.
why?
Yes, sir.
Can you
So
please
let us take
explain
an
that?
example. Always keep it in your mind. Just to keep it in your mind, it's a bloody easiest one. Number of cores is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, right? What is the meaning of number of CPU core is 1 versus number of CPU core is 10? What is the meaning? Very simple. I have one work. What is the difference between one person working or 10% working? That is the difference between CPU core, sir. If your system is one core CPU core, so that means if any task is given, that core will take it. It will run the code has to run right in the background. It will run that code in the RAM, and once the output is provided, and it will go on through the output. Let us take an example. If you have 10 core CPU cores, what is the meaning of 10 core? So parallelism. Parallelly, you can do 10 works. One core limited to one or two threads. Number of threads. You can study in technical world, in an IT world, go and type what is meant by a thread versus, okay, or thread. If you go and click on it, it's nothing but it's a pool, like 5 thread, 4 thread, and so you can do only 4, 5 works at a time if it is one CPU core. What will happen if your system is 3 or 4 CPU cores? You can do basically asynchronous process, parallelism, and all those things. Is it clear, sir?
Yeah. But RAM wise also, for 4 GB, why you need to only one CPU core? Can we, for with the 4 GB, can you go for the 10 CPU cores?
Okay, so it's like this one, sir. Let's take an example. What is meant by a RAM? What is meant by a RAM? So let me write a diagram. Sir, this is a RAM, and this is your server, and it's one CPU, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 you have. Means what? If anyone is providing a work to the system, this one will take it, this work number 1 will take it. It will start calculating using some data here in the RAM. Once the output is coming into picture, it will deliver back. Okay. So what is the meaning of multiple CPU core? Lot of requests are coming. And this RAM is, what is the RAM you provided? 2 GB RAM. Lot of requests are coming. What is this 10 core CPUs will do? This one is doing one work, right? It will create some memory. So these things are running in the background. So these things are running, and it will take the memory of memory. So 10 works have been done, but for the 10 work, it has to have some temporary memory to execute it. If it is you allocate only 2 GB, that means these threads want to allocate more memory and start working. So 2 GB RAM is not sufficient. So that is the reason there is a ratio between CPU core, how many CPU cores versus RAM. So that is the reason that is required by hardware configuration person will do it. In generally, if you go back and see, my Microsoft general server, 24 CPU cores with 270 GB of RAM. One server. Like that, we have 4.74 or 75 million servers. Is it clear, guys? So RAM is nothing but, so I am explaining you something in this one, right? All these things, whatever I write in a diagram, actually stores in a RAM. More RAM you have it, that means it can store it and do some work. That's it. Okay. So what is meant by vertical scaling and horizontal scaling? Now we will start learning, sir. Pretty simple, sir. Sir, what is meant by load balancer? You create a load balancer. Let us assume you had how many servers? 2 servers. Now with the help of, what is that? We will go and configure, what is that? Auto scaling. Auto scaling once you happen, so people will hit this one, more and more people log in. Auto scaling is like your manager will observe what is that load balancer load. Array, this is not sufficient, so it will take a decision to create what is that, and then add it to the load balancer. Now who is taking a decision to create the server? Not the load balancer. Who is that? Auto scaling is taking a position, and 2 servers will become 4 servers. Tomorrow more people log in, 4 servers will become 6 servers. Is it clear, right? Now that is called as auto scaling scale up. Now after certain time no one is logging, auto scaling senses are no one is logging, it will go and delete. What is that? Third server and fourth server, it will go and delete. Now you have two servers. You should have some important questions now. If anyone has any questions, you should ask me. There are certain things, if you don't understand the basics or you are very new, you will ask that questions. Based on the load, we'll talk about the prerequisites. Any questions? Okay. If I delete the server, my data is lost or data is present? Then that is the reason why I am going, write it down. Auto scaling is perfectly suitable for application servers, not for databases. Is it clear, right? Auto scaling is perfectly suitable for web/application servers, not for databases. For databases, people will go for a concept called as replication or clustering. We'll talk about very high level sharding, all those kind of things. What's the difference between replication and sharding when the database comes into picture? That is the reason. So what do you do, sir? So let's take an example. What is the meaning of this one? What is the data? I'm deleting the server, data is lost. No. So what you are going to do? You are going to create a load balancer. In the server number 1, what do you install? SAP. In server number 2, what do you install? SAP. But all the data you store it in, what is that? Database. And it connects like this. Is it clear? More people log in. What are we doing? We are increasing another server. Tomorrow in scale down policy, if I delete this one, data, nothing is stored in this server. What is installed? Only SAP is installed. All the data you're storing in, what is that? Database, cache, or some other place, not onto the application server. So that is the reason, even if the servers gets deleted, I don't have any problem. Is it clear, right? So application server and web servers, you will do auto scaling, not the database server. Database server, you will go for a concept called as, we'll talk about sharding, replication, those things. Okay. Who is a decision maker now? Auto scaling is decision maker, not a load balancer. Now tell me, to create an auto scaling, what are the prerequisites? Can anyone tell me? To create an auto scaling, what should I know? To create auto scaling, something I should create before and keep it ready. Something, what is that? What are information in terms of information or info in terms of anything? Can anyone tell me auto scaling means what? What are the prerequisites?
Vertical or horizontal?
No, that's absolutely right. In AWS, everyone, as I said, you will use horizontal scaling only, no vertical scaling in AWS. Huh? What I'm asking about, what are the prerequisites of auto scaling? What is the meaning of prerequisite? To create auto scaling, you need some information. What are that information? What do you need to have?
What is the load or number of users?
What is that, sir? What is that, sir?
Load or number of users?
Very good. What is your question? What is your, sir?
When
Okay,
we
so the
speak
first
about
one, let's go for it. When I am trying to create auto scaling, sir, let's take an example. I have 2 servers. More load comes into picture, it should become 4. Not sufficient, 8. Not sufficient, 16. Not sufficient, 36. Not 37, 64. Yes or no? In real world, it won't be like that. In real world, it won't be like this one. In real world, now you come up and say, why it will be not there? Auto scaling means it should increase it. Are man, at the end of the day, who's going to pay the cost? You cannot come up and say this guy is there and say, like, he will come up and say, my server is very, very important, please take care. I'll take an after a month and say, I've taken your server so beautifully, scaled up and everything, pay me $10,000. They'll kick you out. My budget itself is $500 per month. You are making $10,000. What's happening? So the most important in an auto scaling is what? Budget cost, sir. You cannot come up and say I have 2 servers, I'll give it 4 servers, I'll make it 8, 16. No, at the end of the day, 16 servers, who's going to pay the cost? Is it clear, right? That is the reason, as the owner of this auto scaling creator and everything, right? It is you. Customer is coming into picture. Customer, you need to ask them, sir, what do you want? SAP application. Okay. So what do you need to do? You will go and create a test server with 2-core CPU core or 4-core CPU core with 16 GB RAM. Create it, install SAP application, and load it, testing it. How many people will load it? So you will clearly come up and say, with 4-core CPU cores with 16 GB RAM, 2000 people at a time can log in. So you know the benchmarking of the website. Okay. Then you will ask customer, generally, why are you coming, sir? He'll say, like, I get daily basis 200 and 2500 people will come. So what do you do? 4-core CPU is how many? 2000 people. 2500 means what I will do? I'll require 2 servers. So I will clearly come up and say, minimum servers I require is what is that? Then I will ask customer, can you tell me when is your so many people log in? Array, so many people log in, maximum 5000 people log in on Sunday. So 5000 means one server, how many? 2000. 5000 means how many servers require? 3 servers. Then you go and provide maximum is what is that? You will provide them. You need to go and provide which one is minimum and which one is maximum. You cannot come up and say, sir, 2 servers, 4, 8 servers, customer will come with a gun. And lot of things happened. My friend, one friend, Nagaraju, is my college mate. He has a company in UK, a consultancy company. He has a UK company. He has some 4 to 5 court cases, similar court cases. Budget one, SLA breach. So he'll say, like, array, it looks very good for like seeing as a owner getting 2-3 crores per year. Super, it looks very good. We have a lot of challenges in terms of legality. It's not India, right? India is there, array Dikshit, yeah man, just take 10 lakhs, just keep it like. In UK it won't be like this one. It's very strict, right? So minimum you need to provide and maximum. You cannot estimate, hey, it will go up to 50-80,000 or like that one. Minimum, maximum, first thing. Very good. First point. Second point is 2 servers are there. More people log in, what should happen? It should become 3. How do you know more people log in? First point. Second point, as he has already mentioned, very good, that you need to go and understand what is load. When the server should become 2 to 3. When the server should become 3 to 2. What is the clarity? What is that one we call it as? No, what is that? What is the priority you want to take it? What is your understanding towards load? Like load means CPU percentage. Sir, Dikshit will come up and say, sir, my system load is high. What is load? See, immediately Dikshit will come up and say CPU percentage. No, this guy will come up and say, no, RAM. My RAM is 100%. CPU percentage is only showing 60%. RAM is full. That is also load, right? And he will come up and say, no. RAM is present, CPU percent is there. My application is running on Java. JVM is full. Then also it will not. So properly understand what is that load. What is meant by load? So you will do a testing. Now the CPU percentage, RAM, JVM, system, threads, number of threads, pools. What is that load? You will define it. Is it clear, right? Now 2 servers should become 3 servers. And add to where? Then what is that? Okay. Now tell me, what is the role of a auto scaling? What auto scaling will do? It will increase the server. Sir, how it will know which server it has to launch? Load balancer, sir. Load balancer is a load balancer. Load balancer will say, it's like me drinking. 2 people are there. I'll send the request to this guy, and I'll say drink. I have 2 servers. I'll only send it to 2 servers. Someone should be there to manage it and say, like, 2 servers are not sufficient, 3. That is auto scaling. How auto scaling know whether I have to launch a Linux system or a Windows system? It has to create a server, right? EC2 instance. Linux or Windows? What is the user data? Should I assign public IP address or private IP address? Should I assign in which VPC? Public subnet or private subnet? Is the user data is there? Which security group? Yes or no? So very, very important fourth one. So you need to provide the information about AMI, security group, all the other EC2 instance. In AWS, we call it as, write it down, launch config. 4, you have one more thing. And the last one, fifth one. Sir, when the server is 2, load is very, very high. It has to convert into 3. 3 is also server is very, 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 very high. What should happen? It should become 4? No, never. You may mentioned it 3, so what should happen? What is that? Notification. It has to say, man, array, what you have done, man? You mentioned 3 is the maximum. 3 servers are also completely full. Do something. So I should get a notification. Then I can talk to the customer and talk about, hey, you provided a wrong information. 2 servers are not sufficient. 4 servers we have to create. We'll talk about this. These are the prerequisites of creating an auto scaling. These are the prerequisites of creating an auto scaling. Is it clear? Minimum, maximum, load balancer. Load balancer is optional. Write it down in the bracket. It's optional. If you are creating something which is a backend, what do you call it, as a worker servers or anything, right? They need 4 or 5 servers to do something. You don't require a load balancer, but it's an optional. And the fourth one is launch config, means you need to tell to auto scaling. If the system is very, very high, go to this AMI, create this AMI, this security group, this user data, this, it will take it and it will launch it. And the last one is you need to send a notification. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions before I go and create a auto scaling?
Yes, I have a question here. See, we are not going for the real data, right? Suppose now previous example, if you take, whenever the CPU core fill with the 98%, then whatever the servers we have, then we'll based on that CPU availability, and we've set a alert and create the servers. So
Yes.
that will work, right? So instead of
Yes.
sometimes we may feel that, and that what of that Sunday time, right? It will be peak hours, okay, at the peak consumption of the whatever the traffic. Okay, we feel that that it was some holiday and they are chilling, people are not, they are not able to using utilization of that CPU cores perfectly. But why we need
Okay.
to why will create unnecessarily until unless that loading not using it? So that kind of handling capacity we have it.
This is what the handling capacity is. If unnecessarily, why do you want to create it? Let us take an example. Sunday the load is high, let it be. So 2 servers is the minimum server. When the number of people on Sunday is hitting more and more, so what will happen? The load will increase. When the load is increased, what did you mention? When the load is increased, you'll define it. Let's take an example of a load is when the CPU percentage is greater than 95%. When this breaches happen, so it will automatically create, what is that? Third server.
Uh,
That is what we are going and creating using auto scaling.
okay, based on the load only, we'll go for the
Based on the load only, number of people are hitting more, that means your system is getting loaded. Now it is debatable. You want to come up and say, I don't want to take load based on CPU percentage. There are other parameters you can go for it, like number of requests hitting the load balancer, or memory, or threads. Anything you can mention it, sir.
okay, then it will
Any
make sense.
questions? Anyone has any questions? Okay, whatever I have written in the board, you will be doing in auto scaling in basically there. Very simple. Pretty simple, sir. You simply go. It is very simple. Array, did I logged in? Hey, you know that I'm going tomorrow Shirdi, right? So tomorrow I'm going to Shirdi. I think I already told you some 1 month back ago. Yes, right? 3 days I will be not there. I told. Let's see. Okay, so what is the AWS?
3 days no class, Kumar? Sir?
I don't know, sir. Actually, I'm going Shirdi at 5 o'clock in the evening. I'll inform it. Basically, actually, my health is not well actually today, and I don't know what is the reason. I had some what is that one? 0.01 sleep, sir. I don't know why. What happened? Did not do any party also, but I have some problem with my sleep. So with very great difficulty I came here. Actually, then I cancelled 8 a.m. batch now. Okay, but tomorrow is a class. I'll inform you, sir. There is no need to worry. So if I feel very uncomfortable, there will be no class tomorrow. Otherwise, you will have a class. You will get an information. No need to worry. What's the password? I forgot. Okay.
But 4 and 5 are surely no classes.
Yeah, surely I will be not there, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So you go below here, you have the concept called as auto scaling. You go and click on EC2 instance. What is meant by EC2 instance? EC2 instance topic contains EC2 instance, load balancing, and auto scaling, and also parts and pieces of something of IAM as well as CloudWatch. We will talk about that one later point of time. You go below, and what is this one? The last one, auto scaling. So let's go and create an auto scaling. Directly you'll come up and say I want to create an auto scaling, but what are the prerequisites? If you see right here, right? So I would like to create an auto scaling. First thing, when you try to create an auto scaling, it is asking you to select what is that? Launch configuration. What is launch configuration? You need to tell, like, when the server is getting created. Let's take an example. What is your SAP application AMI? Let's take an example. You're launching AMI, right? What is the AMI ID of SAP? What is the in T2.micro, T2.large instance type? Which VPC? Which subnet? Which VPC? User data, security group, key pair, tags. It is the asking you same thing. I want to go and launch it. So let's take an example. You want to by directly, if you see, right? I'm trying to create an auto scaling. First prerequisite itself is what is that? Launch config. So either you can click on like this one, or you in the side button also you have a launch config. Anything you can go for it. You can click on like this one. I'm trying to create one launch config. Launch config. Let's take an example. I'll take Dikshit launch config. Okay. I'll go back. Which is the AMI ID? Select your AMI ID. You will be providing your AMI ID. I am just taking a some dummy AMI. CentOS. Okay. What is your instance type? Choose your instance type. Sir, all my auto scaling system should have 4 GB RAM. Excuse me. 1 core CPU, 2 core CPU. You are the owner. Any smaller system? Okay, I'll select this system and all those kind of things. Like it will ask you a lot of information. What is your user data? If you have any user data, should I assign public IP address, only public IP address, private IP address? What is your storage, security group? I'm just providing a dummy details, sir. What is your key pair name? Key pair name is what is that? Some, and you say acknowledge. So a lot of people think, what I'll do it right now? When I launch it, right, I provided EC2 instance. Many people think EC2 instance gets created. No, it will go in the background. It will create a file what you provided. So when you go and click on it, in the background, they are creating one JSON file with whatever you provided input, right? It's a reference file. So that auto scaling will use this information and create it. So it went and created Dikshit. So you go and click on select this one, and this is the information. UI is so bad. So you go back and see. So what is Dikshit information? So launch config contains instance type, key pair name, security group, so that when you want to scale up, right, it will use this configuration and create the server. First one, launch config is completed. Dikshit, let's go to the auto scaling. It is simple, sir. I'll go for auto scaling, create an auto scaling group. Auto scaling group name is Dikshit auto scaling group. What is your launch config name? Click on it and you will see same thing. Click on it and you should see what is that. What is that? Dikshit launch config, and it will come up and say I'll choose this AMI, this thing. Click on next. Pretty straightforward. Which VPC? Which subnet? I'm just providing a dummy subnet, sir. Don't feel. Just providing dummy subnet. Click on next. Now tell me, what is this option? Do you have a load balancer? It is asking, man, do you have a load balancer? Create a load balancer, okay, and be ready. So whether it is, no, sir, I don't have any load balancer selected. No, I have an existing load balancer selected. No, sir, I want to attach a new load balancer. And you also have an option called as create a new load balancer, create an existing load balancer. Existing load balancer, it will ask you application load balancer, network load balancer, or classic load balancer. You are the owner, whichever you want to go for it, you can go for it. So I'll go and select it. I think I don't have anything. Just take an example. I'm choosing a dummy thing. Do you have any? What is this one? It is asking you what is that? If it is an application load, if it is a classic load balancer, you don't have any concept called as target groups. But if it is application load balancer, it will ask you target group. I'm selecting some dummy one. I've not yet created, right? Whether we can create it, anything you can go for it. Create a new load balancer, create an existing load balancer, and no load balancer. Is it clear, right? Health checks. I think you people already know health check. What is a health check? Health check, load balancer health check, or EC2 instance health check. It is automatically taking care in the background. Monitoring, we'll talk about monitoring when I go for CloudWatch. I will not explain you right now. Now tell me, what is this one? What is this one? What is that? Minimum, maximum. Is it clear, right? Minimum and maximum. Deserved, minimum and maximum. Write it down. What is that? What should I require? Minimum one server is required at any cost. I should not have 0 server. Minimum one. No, sir. My business requirement says 2 servers should be there. Go and create it 2. What is maximum, sir? Maximum 6. Go and mention 6. So the servers will be 2 to 6 only. It will not decrease to 1. It will not increase to 7. Yes or no? What is the meaning of deserved capacity? When you create a load balancer, create with 4. Minimum is what is that? 1. But create with 4. 4 gets created, then 4 are there. No one is logging. What will happen? It will become 3, 2, 1. Scale down. But when I start with 4. That is called as deserved capacity. Deserved capacity will be in between minimum and maximum. Some stupid AWS certification question came and I was very shocked to the certificate. That certificate says like, so what is deserved capacity? What is meant by deserved capacity? Deserved capacity should be between dash and dash. A stupid AWS certification question. I don't know who provided this one. What is the minimum here? Maximum I can mention. Example 6. Deserved can be 8. No, it should be between minimum and maximum.
Max.
So that was the question actually. So it should be deserved capacity means deserved capacity is in between minimum and maximum capacity. And AWS certification came, it's a stupid question, but I don't know why it came. So it came like this one. This is one. Is it clear? Minimum, maximum. Now you tell me. Now what is the meaning of this one? This is nothing but load. What is meant by a load? When do you consider one server should increase? When the system is heavily loaded. What is meant by load? CPU percentage, RAM, what is that? Basically, they are providing you certain thing. When the CPU percentage is more than, example, what is that? 85%, that means your system is loaded. You will create another server gets created. Yes or no? No, sir, I don't want CPU percentage. You have these many metrics. And you can go for custom metrics also. Custom metrics also supported. You can go for, and most of the people, 65% of the people will use the first one, average CPU percentage. Next to 20% of the people will use the last one. Application load balancer, what is that? Request count. Load balancer is there, 500 people are logging. Array, if 1000 people log in, then go and increase the server. Either this or this, both the things you can go for it to define the load. I can mention when the CPU percentage is more than 85%, I consider this one as heavily loaded. Okay, yes or no? Yes or no? So this is called as load definition. Anyone has any questions? Load definition, you go and mention it, nothing. Okay, there is no need to go and provide optional option. Next one, what is the next one? What is that? Here you have Notification. I want to notify Dikshit there is a problem. Go and click on it. This is the next AWS service after the holidays, which I come right after Shirdi. Okay, I'll start this AWS service. 3 AWS services or 4 AWS services should be completed in 2 days. One shot. Tuck, 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 tuck. Okay, so I will notify. Dikshit, I want to notify. I want to notify to the mail ID. I want to send it to phone number. I can mention it. That's it. Is it clear? Then let me go and change it to this one. Email ID. Then you click on review. Then you click on tags. Ready? And then what do? When you create, so now tell me, use your mind and answer it, sir. When I'll go and create an auto scaling, what will happen? Tell me. Huh? It will? Good. Secondary charge is secondary, sir. What will happen when I click on this button? What will happen? Tell me. Tell me.
One more
A lot of
server
people do a
added.
mistake here. Only a lot of people will do a mistake. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Server will be added.
Server will be
Added.
edited.
Server will be added, sir.
Server will be added. So let's take an example. What will happen when you create an auto scaling? Auto scaling is born, created. Yes or no? It will get created
Yes.
and it will go and check it out. First thing after creation, it will go and check it out. Where is minimum present? How much is the minimum? 1. Let's take an example. Or very good, deserved state 4. Let's take an example. How many is the minimum? Minimum is how much? 1. How many auto scaling created? 0. It is born. Just now it has created. So auto scaling will create it and it will go and check it out. Minimum server is what is that? 1. How many I created? Nothing. Then a server gets created. Now onwards, auto scaling will have a track of that server. So lot of people will do this interview mistake. Let's take an example. I have a load balancer. I already have SAP application 2 servers. I already have SAP application 2 servers. Now I create an auto scaling. What will happen? Auto scaling will not understand anything which is before happened. How auto scaling will know 2 servers are present in the load balancer? Or I should not do anything. Auto scaling will create it and it will come up and say, I don't know. Once I born, I'll create it. After creating, then I will maintain. I created 1 and 2, then and everything. I don't know what is an existing 1, 2 are there, 3 are there. I don't care. Is it clear, right? It will create, it will be created. It will check for the minimum. What is the minimum or deserved? It will go and create it. Now it will come up and say minimum is 2. It will create 2. It will create 2. More load is coming into picture. It will create 3. Now it will have the track, like how many servers it has created? 3. No one is logging. What it will do? It will delete 1 server. Is it clear, right? Now, not the previous one. That is create 1, 2, and 3. I just provided all the dummy data, sir. But if you go and create it, so what will happen? Auto scaling gets created. Some of my students will do literally very, very bad things. So don't do this one. Not the bad things, but the stupid things. I'll tell you what happens. Don't laugh. Okay, one of my student, I think I'm just talking about 7 or 8 months. First batch of after COVID, I think 1 year back ago. Second batch, I don't know. So he said like, I told auto scaling, he went and created auto scaling, worked on it, super, and he was happy, very good. And next day after 2 days, and then he said, sir, I want to talk to you privately. I said, like, what happened? Sir, my account is hacked, sir. He said, my account is hacked. Then he said, how can you say account is hacked? I am creating a server. Okay, I deleted everything. Next day morning, I log in, I can see 1 server is there. I deleted one. This time, what did I do? I deleted that server. Next day again, I see another server is there. So I said like, no man, that won't happen. Go and check it out properly. I took it very lightly. Nothing will happen. No. After 3 days, she'd come up and say, no, sir, I want you to fix the problem, sir. Someone has acted. I changed the. And I said him, change the password, man. He changed the password. I said, no, sir, that guy is able to change the password. Also, he is able to do that. And I said, then I got some doubt. Arey, you changed the password. Did you share to anyone? No. Then how? So what is the problem? The problem here is pretty straightforward. What he has done, very simple. What is the minimum he mentioned? Maximum he mentioned. And then what happened? Auto scaling is created. Auto scaling minimum how many mentioned? He mentioned 2 EC2 instance gets created. Yes or no? He created, he was very happy. Maya, EC2 instance got created, very good. What he is doing, he is going and deleting these 2 servers after testing. If these 2 servers are deleted, what is auto scaling will check for? What it will check for? It will go and check it
Minimum
out. How many servers should be there?
minimum
How many are
servers.
there? 0. What
0.
it will do? It will again
Again it
create
will
2.
create.
Next day is coming, he is deleting this server. Next day it is creating again 2. Again 2. He is thinking the account is hacked, but it's not account is hacked. You should go and delete. What is that? Auto scaling, not your EC2 instance. If you see here, right, sir, I go and click on it. I just provided dummy details. I just provided dummy details. But if you go back and see, I just provided dummy, no permissions, everything. If it is there, if the dummy data is created or anything, right? So what will happen? Now the servers gets creating. Auto scaling will go and create the servers and start maintaining the count, what, where, and everything. Okay, never ever come up and say this one is creating 2 servers. See, updating, it is still updating. Wait for the, so when you go and click on refresh, it is updating. Deserved minimum 1, it is updating. Once it is updated, right, you will see 1 server. Don't go and say after practice Ammaya, right click and delete the server. Auto scaling is always what? It's like a manager, it will go and check it out. Minimum 2 servers, you deleted 1, it will go and create another one. What you need to do? You need to go back and what you need to do? Select this one. Is it clear, right? Now it will be deleted. All the parents, whatever you have deleted, now it will not increase it. Keep it in your mind. Very, very important. Unnecessarily, he got something, I think, I don't know, like $1,000, 1,000 rupees, sorry. But it can be avoidable. I was thinking he's telling about hacking, right? I was thinking go and change the password, enable multi-factor authentication and providing. But after I log into the account, then I realized that this is not the problem with password. This is a problem with auto scaling. Is it clear, guys? Online people, are you able to hear it? Okay, so
Yes.
this is an end of EC2 instance. The end means there is no end. 95% of the EC2 instance is completed. 5% when I go for IAM, when I go for CloudWatch, when I go for flow logs, then you will again come back to EC2 instance. You should get 7 questions out of 65 questions in EC2 instance, this particular EC2 instance only. One of the biggest one, the same team, EC2, I was working in Azure Compute till last month. So I know the importance of how much request will come, how many severity, 1, 2 things will come into picture. Azure Compute is basically a combination of 600 people in Microsoft. Maybe in AWS, it should be similar to that. It's a very powerful team. You will learn a lot of things. In that one, I've learned a lot of things in the background, how a server gets created, what is happening, where we are electing, and all those things. Important, please learn it. 7 questions will come in AWS certification question. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? I am done for the day. Yes, sir. Increase the voice. Desired status, when I create an auto scaling, when I go and create an auto scaling will go and look for the first one desired capacity. See, think about like this one, sir. I'm a Flipkart company. I already advertised that on January 1st, I'm going to launch Flipkart. Minimum people will log in or many people will log in to go and check it out. You will not see maximum. Lot of people log in. So you will go and mention in Flipkart, minimum is 50. Maximum is 500. 500 servers are required. But today I already provided an offer. A lot of people are looking for what is Flipkart, right? Yes or no? I will come up and say deserved is 150. So what will happen? When I clear an auto scaling, what will happen? 150 server gets created. But minimum I require how many? 50. But today most people will log in. So let 150 gets created. Now people will log in and say, are Flipkart, I have already checked in and everything. Slowly the demand will decrease. So 152 to 120, 120 to 110, 100, slowly it will go and break. It will be between 50 to 80 servers. Now again Saturday, Sunday, or I will release bonanza offer. So what will happen? Any product 30% discount. So what will happen? Now it will scale up to 300, 400. Scale down, scale up. But when I initiate it, what should I do? I need a little bit more. That is deserved capacity. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions?
So auto scaling facility will, when we create a auto scaling one, it will go away, straight away go and create a desired number of instances.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it is intended to do. It is doing that. Is it clear, guys? Very, 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 very important. Very, 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 very important. I was sitting, I think on December 31st or December 30. December 30, I was sitting in my office. No one came. My office was pin drop silent. Maybe my hall is basically 500 people strength. 498 people did not come. Myself and one more person was there. So I was thinking, no work was there. So I become scientist. I've taken a paper just thinking what kind of interview questions. I've written 200 questions for you. In that 160 questions are AWS EC2 questions only. All are very basic interview questions. The print is given. The print is already given to 8 AM batch. The print of 200 questions are 100 questions I provided. 100 questions are related to container. I provided 100. I'll go and provide you for that one. It is a combination of nothing related to EC2. It's a combination of everything. EC2, S3, DynamoDB, VPC, everything I provided. Wait for it. It's like a good question. I'll add more and more questions. I was free, so it took 2.5 hours for me to write it down. I've written it down and they've printed it and they've provided it. I'll give you more stuff like that. Pure interview questions. Now, once SNS is completed, next 5 AWS services completed, we will go for 1 hour of complete full-fledged AWS certification questions. There will be an exam for you. Now start answering the question AWS certification. Okay? Okay, guys? Okay, guys, then I'm going to sign off right now. So I don't know whether the class will be tomorrow. So based on my health, mostly it should be there. I'm not guaranteeing you. If I feel like today only I'm freezing like drowsy, I'll take a leave today in my office. I'll take a rest. If everything goes well, tomorrow you will have a class. Otherwise, you will. So tomorrow is what day? 3rd, 4th, and 5th, you don't have the class. Fine? Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.